It really is like walking through a forest. Paseo del Bosque, René Favaloro, Bartolomé Mitre, Estadio Juan Carmelo Zerillo, Estudiantes de La Plata, Museo de La Plata. It's a very cool park. I like this one a lot. Welcome back, everyone. La Plata, Argentina. We're here back in La Plata, and today, as promised in the previous video, we're going to explore this big, beautiful urban park that they have here, Paseo del Bosque. In the video that we just made, the video about the city planning and architecture of La Plata here, I mentioned towards the end of that video that we were right across the street from this big park, Paseo del Bosque. And I said that there was a lot of cool stuff inside here that we wanted to see. And today, we're going to do that. So come along. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you want to help out the channel and help it grow, I really would appreciate it. Click on the like button down there, the subscribe button, and the little bell next to it to be notified for when new videos drop. It really helps the channel grow because it's going to help the YouTube algorithm recognize this content and spread it to other YouTube viewers. If you'd like to support the channel monetarily, I would appreciate that as well. You can leave a super thanks by clicking this thanks button here and give a small donation to the channel. I appreciate your support. So back to the video. Enjoy. So like most of the cities we've been to on this trip here through South America, there is a big, beautiful urban park here in La Plata. And we visited other parks like this in Buenos Aires. We visited Parque Centenario, and in Rosario we visited Parque Independencia. In Quito we visited Parque La Carolina. So links to all of those down in the description. Check out those videos if you want to see a nice tour of beautiful, beautiful urban parks. But this one I really, really like. Paseo del Bosque. Basically, bosque means like woods or forest. That's really what it feels like in this park, not gonna lie. There are a ton of trees. This whole street that goes up through the park is lined by trees, and on the other side over there's another section that's full of trees. All these like little areas that are sort of like in through here, there's just tons of trees. It feels really, really good, especially on a really nice day, to just be walking through what feels like a forest right in the middle of the city. It's very, very nice. Now, one thing to note, down there at the entrance where we started the video, that is right across the street from Plaza Rivadavia. That's where we were in our video about city planning and architecture, where we saw the Minister of Security building and also the Casa Curuchet, that very cool house that was designed by the famous architect Le Corbusier. And this entrance to the park here, that's like right over there, it actually lines up with the Street 52 corridor that we talked about in that video. How all of the government buildings going like all the way down to Plaza Moreno at the dead center, geographical center of the city, they all line up along that corridor. And this is basically the northern end of the corridor, is the entrance to this park. Now, one thing to note, at the entrance to the park, there is basically like, you can go up 51st Street, but there's also a street that goes in like, or you can go up 52nd rather, 52, Street 52. And there's also like a diagonal that goes off to the like northeast, off of the little plaza down there, which is Plaza Guillermo Brown. And it's important that if you actually want to get into the park and see like all the stuff that's in here, you kind of have to go on the diagonal that goes northeast. Because if you go up 52nd, like I made the mistake of doing, you end up sort of like on the edge of the park, and there's really nowhere to get in until you get up to the very northern part of the park, at which point you have to like go back around to the east and go in from the north side of the park. There's just no like entrances on the other side of the park. So if you want to get in, make sure when you're at the entrance across from Plaza Guillermo Brown that you take the diagonal that goes northeast. Anyway, first place that we want to see in here is this right here. Big old gigantic stadium. This is Estadio Uno. Estadio Uno Jorge Luis Hirschi. And this is the home stadium of a very famous team here in La Plata, Estudiantes de La Plata. There it is right there, Estudiantes de La Plata, the seal of the team, and stadium sponsored by Flow, I guess. Flow is an Argentine cell phone provider. And very, very big stadium, you could see. This is just one side of it. They have a huge like food court section inside. There's a store over here that I saw where you can get your Estudiantes de La Plata merchandise. And it looks like they also have a sport club, which is a gym sport club, like a chain of gyms. And I can see there's like treadmills and ellipticals and stuff all up on the second floor there. I wonder if we can get into this area like out in front. This is all open, but I wonder if we can get like maybe up against this fence and we can see into the stadium a little bit. I don't think we're going to be able to get in there, but maybe we can look in there. Can't really find a good angle to look into the stadium from outside. Everything's locked up, and I don't know if you can see across the way there. There's like the box seats, all the really high-end seats over there, and they're building some kind of big scaffolding. I think there's maybe like a, I don't know, concert or something going on here at some point. But it is this gigantic stadium. You can see the tiers of the seats going all the way up, and over on this side too. But this is where they play. This is Estadio Uno, the Estudiantes de La Plata, their stadium. Yeah, it goes all the way down here, down to the next block. And right across the street here, there's a school. This is, I'm not sure if this is like a high school, some sort of technical school. But right across the street from Estadio Uno, over here, is beautiful Lago del Bosque, the lake in the woods. Now, a lot of these parks that we visited, they have like a man-made lake in the middle, which is very cool. This one does as well. Looks like there's a little cafe over here. That's pretty nice. Tiny little cafe, little building. But here is El Lago del Bosque. And actually, this is sort of like a kind of little skinny part. There's like an island in the middle that I think has a government building on it. But around here, on the other side of this bridge, the lake sort of opens up. Beautiful lake here in the middle of the park. And on the other side of the lake, there is like looks like a little bouncy castle, fun little mini fun fair park for the kids. And down there at the end, it looks like you can rent paddle boats and rowboats, so you can row your way around the lake. Very nice. Here around on the other side of the lake, where the little mini carnival is, and a few little rides in here for kids. Very nice, very cool. And the boat launch over here, where you can rent paddle boats, paddle around the lake. And there's this nice like walking trail / jogging trail that cuts through the park that sort of runs parallel to the street over there on the other side. So you don't have to like walk right next to the street. You can walk through like this part of the park. Nice. And get a good view, or a better view, of the size of the stadium, Estadio Uno, de Estudiantes de La Plata. It's huge. Look at the size of that thing. Big stadium. Anyway, let's keep going up this way. And actually, if we keep going up this way, the sort of crown jewel of the park is, I think, up here at the end of this road, this path, and that is the Museo de La Plata, the Museum of La Plata. It's a natural science museum. I think that is operated by the Universidad Nacional de La Plata, the National University of La Plata, and it is very, very famous. And I think we want to go check it out. So before we go actually and look at the museum, which is right over there, that's like the back side of the building. Right over here, there it is, La Gruta del Bosque, the grotto of the woods, which is cool. It's kind of like a little man-made grotto that they made here. A little waterfall, and apparently you can like go up in here and climb around. So let's do that. Pretty cool. There's lots of ways to go up. Little stairs that go up through here. More around here. Trying to avoid this puddle here. There it is. Let's go this way. Grotto. Which way do we go? Go up this way? Up here, on the other side of the waterfall. And that just goes back down to where we were. Let's see. Let's go around. Go around this way. See if we can get. I think we can go up like to the very top, on top of everything here. Yeah, very nice. There's a little spot over there. Some park benches where you can sit. Top of the grotto, that gruta. It's up over here, and then this just goes back down to the street. It's a fun little thing. It's pretty cool. If you do come here and you're walking around, careful. Some of these steps are kind of uneven. You don't want to take a tumble, but let's head across and look at this museum, because the museum, in addition to being like super famous around Argentina, the museum is also in a building that I've seen from pictures is super cool. It's an old building. This place was built, I want to say like 1884. Like right after the founding of the city, they started building this museum. You can see parts of it sort of sticking up through the trees over there. Let's see if we can go around to the front, get a good view of it. So here we are on the other side, and there it is. Museo de La Plata, Universidad Nacional. Really cool building. And like I said, I think this building is like dates back all the way back to like just after the founding of the city here in La Plata. Really, really beautiful and big too, not gonna lie. Like all the way down to there, all the way down to there. It's a big building. I had originally planned to make this a let's tour the park and also go into the museum video, but I think, given the size of this thing, I think if we do that, the video's gonna be like an hour and a half long. It's gonna be ridiculously long. So let's we'll save the Museo de La Plata. We'll give it its own video. Make sure you come back for that at some point along our trip here. We will have a video inside Museo de La Plata looking at everything. I think it's going to be very, very cool in there. I've heard a lot of good stuff. In fact, in the video where we went to Parque Centenario in Buenos Aires, I had a lot of comments when we visited that natural history museum there. A lot of comments said, hey, you have to go to this one in La Plata. So I think we'll do that. That'll be its own video coming soon. But here, across from the museum, there's this little plaza over here. I think some of the mounted police are over there with their horses. There is like a little restaurant, pancheria, like a hot dog stand. And of course, the entire thing, it's like in the forest. So I really like this because some of the other parks we've been to, they're nice, but none of them have had like trees, like this kind of density of trees, you know what I mean? And it makes sense because of course the place is called Paseo del Bosque, right? And bosque is forest. And man, it is like a forest in here. Very cool. All right, let's keep on going. There's a couple more things to see here in the park. There is actually a couple more buildings that are like part of the Universidad Nacional de La Plata. I think, getting a little turned around here, but I think they might be like right over here. Let's go look. And here they are right here. The two buildings I was mentioning here, they are part of the Universidad Nacional de La Plata, and it's the planetarium here, and there's also an observatory in here as well. I don't know how close we're going to be able to get to either of these buildings. I don't know if they're open or not, but it's cool to see out here the planetarium. I think this one is the planetarium. And like I mentioned in the very first video that we made here in La Plata, the Universidad Nacional de La Plata is huge. It's like 150,000 students, and the population of the city is only like just under maybe like around 800,000 people. So yeah, so this is Planetarium, Planetario Universidad Nacional de La Plata, from the Facultad de Ciencias Astronómicas y Geofísicas, the Faculty of Sciences, like astronomy and geophysics. And it looks like it's closed, but you can see it right. So we can get a view of it. There it is right there, the planetarium. You can see the dome there. And actually, just behind this building is where the observatory is. I think we may be able to get a view of it from the other side, like around the corner here. Let's go see if we can do that. There it is right there, the observatory. Observatoria. Anyway, I talked to a security guard at the front of the building. This is the sciences building, astronomy, geophysics building of the university. And this actually looks like another observatory here. I wonder if there's like two of them here. But I asked him if we could come back here and film, and he said, yeah, sure, just go through the building and you can film back here. Now, it's not open, but we can film the outside. And it's a very, very cool observatory. And I've seen, from photos of the inside, that there is a big old giant telescope inside there. can see on the ceiling, like the track there around the dome where it opens up and the telescope sticks out. Super cool. And of course, because we're in Paseo del Bosque, it is surrounded by basically a big beautiful forest. That's what's really cool about this place. You know, like I mentioned, everywhere you go, there are cool things to see in here, cool stuff to do, right? Paddle around the lake, go to the Science Museum, the planetarium. I think you can go to the observatory also. There are certain hours when it's open for visitors. But all of it is all just sort of surrounded by this beautiful, beautiful forest. I gotta say, I really like this park. Right here in what is more or less like the middle center of the park is the monument to Bartolomé Mitre. And Bartolomé Mitre was president of Argentina. It's former president of Argentina from like back in the 1860s. There it is right there. And it's like at sort of the intersection of all the streets, the diagonals and everything that crisscross the park. You can see the streets going off that way to the north and that way. And there's a big roundabout here with the monument in the middle. There's Mitre right there. Statue of Bartolomé Mitre. Right behind the monument over there is Estadio Juan Carmelo Cerrillo. And that is the stadium that is home to the Club of Gymnastics and Fencing. It's like Club Gimnasia y Esgrima, I think is the word for fencing. That's a very old athletic club that was founded here back in like just a few years after the founding of the city, 1887, I think. And of course now they do more than just gymnastics and fencing. They have a soccer team or a football team that they are that is very famous. It's a big stadium over there. It's like basically the other big team in La Plata. So the two teams, Estudiantes de La Plata that we saw on the way in, and then this stadium here, the club La Plata Fencing and Gymnastics Club. Also right here next to the monument to Bartolomé Mitre is a monument to René Favaloro. And the park, actually, the full name of the park is Paseo del Bosque René G. Favaloro. Paseo del Bosque René G. Favaloro. Because this guy is a very famous Argentine cardiac surgeon, and he's the first one to perform a cardiac bypass surgery. First person ever to perform a cardiac bypass surgery. So, of course, those operations are quite common now. And if you or anyone you know has ever received a cardiac bypass surgery and your life was saved because of it, yo it to this guy, René Favaloro. Here in between the Science Museum and the monument to Bartolomé Mitre is the Jardín de la Paz, the Peace Garden. Very nice. There's little plaques around here. I wonder what these are. Jardín de la Paz project restoration, artistic restoration. I wonder if these are just like... I don't know what these plaques are. Oh, well, they're different countries. Oh, okay. Switzerland, and the Alpine Rose. India, and what looks like a lily. I think these may be the national flowers of these different countries. Greece, Where else? Yeah, these are all different countries. Croatia. Let's see. Israel. Some of these are a little faded. It's nice. It goes all the way around. And then in the center, there's this little, I don't know, little, I would say gazebo, but it's not really a gazebo. There's something on top. It's nice though. Nice, pleasant place. There's one more thing we can check out. Last but certainly not least, it's just over here back around the front of the museum, the Museo de La Plata, and that is the Monumento a los Cinco Sabios. The monument to the 5 wise men of La Plata. And here they are, los cinco sabios de La Plata, the 5 wise men of La Plata. Nice little garden here with the 5 busts. Let's see who the 5 are. We have Spagazzini. Carlos Luis Spagazzini was born in Italy, moved to Argentina. He was a botanist and mycologist who discovered and categorized thousands of different species of plants and fungi during his long career here in Argentina. After his death, in his will, he donated his house, his collections, and all of his scientific equipment to the Universidad Nacional de La Plata. Vucetich. Juan Vucetich, who was born in what is now present-day Croatia, moved to Argentina. He was a forensic anthropologist, the first to use fingerprints to identify people at crime scenes. He actually was the first person to use a fingerprint to identify, try, and convict a murderer. And the local police museum here in La Plata is actually named after Juan Vucetich. Korn. Alejandro Korn was born here in Argentina and was a doctor, philosopher, a teacher, and later a politician. He actually had a very strong influence on the development of the Universidad Nacional de La Plata and the university system in Argentina in general as a reformer and a political leader later in life. There is actually a train station down on the Roca line named after Alejandro Korn. Almafuerte, which was actually his pseudonym. His real name, Pedro Bonifacio Palacios, was a real Renaissance man, a painter, a teacher, a writer, a poet, translator, journalist, librarian, you name it, he did it. He was deeply involved in education all across Argentina. He taught in many towns and cities across the country, and there is actually a museum in his former house here in La Plata, the Almafuerte Museum, which unfortunately I don't think we're going to get a chance to see, but maybe the next time we come back to La Plata we'll be able to check it out. And Ameghino. Florentino Ameghino, whose full name is Giovanni Battista Fiorino Giuseppe Ameghino, was born in Italy, moved to Argentina. He was a zoologist, an anthropologist, paleontologist who studied the fossils of both ancient humans indigenous to Argentina and also species of extinct animals indigenous to Argentina. He taught not only at the Universidad Nacional de La Plata, but also the Universidad Nacional de Córdoba. And it's nice that they have them right outside the museum, which is right over there. The famous Museum of La Plata, Universidad Nacional de La Plata, and the 5 wise men, Cinco Sabios de La Plata. So, I think that's going to do it for the video. We've seen a lot of stuff here in this park. Very, very beautiful park. I mean, as I turn around, you can just see trees everywhere. Constantly in the shade of the trees, there's birds. I hear them everywhere. It really is like walking through a forest. It's very cool. It's a very cool park. I like this one a lot. And like I mentioned, the museum that's right there behind me, we're gonna make our own video. We're gonna make a separate video about that. Keep an eye out for that video coming. I definitely want to go in there and check it out, but there's no way we can fit it all in this video, so we're gonna have to make a separate video for that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, this little tour of Paseo del Bosque, René Favaloro, and like always, there's more stuff coming from here in La Plata. There is a lot of good stuff coming from here in La Plata. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next one.